Hey, and welcome back to Slick Willy Fly. So I want to do something a little different. I keep getting asked about specific knots that I use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys 3 knots. I'm using 10-pound and 20-pound fishing line to make it easier for you to see. The first knot that I'm going to show you is a basic loop knot that I keep being asked about all the time, and it's very, very simple. Right now I have in my hand 20-pound line, and I realize that that's thick, but for the purpose of this video. So all I do is make a loop, then I go over the fingers. I'm gonna start again. I make a loop, I go over both my fingers, and then I go between my fingers. I take the piece that's over my thumbnail, and I go through the loop. Now I need to use my mouth, and pull everything tight. Now, when you practice, you can actually make this loop quite small. And I do make this loop quite small. And I'll show you that this is a very strong loop. Use this scissor tag. That loop will not let go. So that's the first knot that I wanted to show you. And you can make this any size you want with a little practice. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. The next knot that I'm going to show you, that I'm often asked, I like when I take my kids or friends fishing, I always say to them, I start with about a 9-foot tapered leader, and then I start adding leader. If I'm not getting bites, I just make the leader longer and I go to smaller flies. That's my method. So how do I add leader to the 9-foot leader? So what I have here is I have a piece of 10-pound. And I'm using the 10-pound because it's thinner, obviously, than the 20-pound. And I'm doing this just for the purpose of the video. So I have the 10-pound. This would be what I'm adding. And I have the 20-pound. And I have them going in opposite directions. So I put them in opposite directions. Give myself a nice tag. I make a loop. I pass them through 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Always moisten a knot before you pull tight. And then you pull them both together just like that. And they make this beautiful, straight in line, super strong knot. You just trim your tags, which I can do. I can show you quickly. You would carefully trim your tags. And you have this perfect straight knot. So then the last and very important knot that I'm going to show you, I often am asked, how do you attach braid to the fly line? So what I have here is a piece of old fly line, the blue, and I have a piece of braid. Typical backing. So what I'm going to do is, I don't like to use welded loops when I attach my braid to the fly line because I want this to lay in my spool as nicely as possible, and I'm always thinking that I'm going to catch a big fish. I'm always imagining that I'm going to get a fish that's going to pull drag and smoke all my fly line out, and my backing is going to be out the rod. So I need to have a nice inline knot that can nicely go through my guides. So I'm going to take my fly line and I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to take my braid, I'm going to go through that loop, create another loop. So basically it's going to look like 2 loops. But I'm going to take the tag end of the braid and I'm going to do, it's easier when I'm not talking. Let's start again. So I'm going to take the tag end of the braid and I'm going to go around everything 6-7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 will work. Then I'm going to take it through the loop. Got to make sure you give yourself enough line. And now I'm going to carefully just start bringing it all down and pull that nice and tight, and then you can clip that tag end. And what you've created here, and I'll show you, I don't know how good my nail clipper is going to cut braid, but we'll get it. Listen, braid is tough. Get better with my scissors. And then I have the other tag. What I've made here is I've made a knot that's in line that should have a better chance of going through the guides. The worst thing you could do is have a knot that gets trapped on the guides, because it'll come tight, no drag, and pop your leader, and there goes your fish. And it could be a trophy fish. And I'm always, my life, you know, I'm always after that trophy fish. So I want to catch fish that are going to scream drag and get me into my backing. So there's 3 knots. I hope I was able to teach you something, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and see you on the next video.